When Josiah became king, the people in Israel were not obeying God's laws. They were not in relationship with him. It was kind of like they had fallen asleep and needed to be woken up. They had forgotten all about God's word, and they had never worshiped him in the temple. In fact, the temple was dirty and damaged. So Josiah wanted to get it fixed up for people to worship God. Josiah had a work crew come in to clean and fix everything in the temple. While they were cleaning the temple, one of the priests found something very important: the book of the law, which is the Bible, God's word. The people in Israel had gotten so far from God that they didn't even know about the Bible anymore. No one read it or obeyed God's commands. Josiah didn't even know about it. But when the book of the law was brought to him, he had someone read the whole thing to him. After he heard it, he tore his clothes. He was so sad that no one in Israel had been obeying God's word. Through God's word, God awakened Josiah to obey him. Then Josiah gathered all of the people together so they could hear God's word. The people were reminded of their covenant with God, the promise they had made to love and serve him. God awakened their hearts, and they renewed their covenant with God. They wanted to obey him and live in relationship with him. Josiah knew that the people had to stop worshiping false gods. So he went around the country and destroyed all of the altars and statues that had been built to honor false gods. Then Josiah did one last thing. He invited everyone to celebrate Passover, the holiday that reminded the Israelites of how God had rescued them from slavery in Egypt. Passover is a very happy holiday and a great time for the people to celebrate all God had done for them. All of Israel gathered and worshiped God, ate food, and celebrated him together. God awakened Josiah and the Israelites through his word so they would obey him and be in right relationship with him. God also awakens us. He speaks to us through his word and leads us to obey him. This week, ask God to prepare your heart to receive his word, to teach you through it, and to inspire you to respond.